The fact that concentration camps are now an institutionalized practice in the home of the free is extraordinarily disturbing.
Is the Trump administration currently running concentration camps at the border? Somewhat remarkably, this is a debate we are now having in the year 2019.
Many of Ocasio-Cortez's Democratic peers and the media, they sprinted to her defense.
And in this case, I think she went there because no one, look, I get upset about what they're doing to these children. And no one's listening. And it's like, why? This is a way of getting people to listen to it and pay attention to it.
The comments were not just inartful, they were an insult to the millions who died in the concentration camps, many who survived, and the millions across the globe who were trying to ensure that an atrocity like the Holocaust never happens again.
And there are legitimate reasons to object to the use of that term in the context. As many pointed out, direct allusions to, invocations of the horror of the Holocaust are always treacherous territory.
We all know what the connotation of concentration camps is. If we went out on the street and asked 100 random people, 99 of them would tell us, would give us an explanation or a definition that relates to Nazism. But secondly, and even more importantly, she used the phrase never again, which we know is specifically linked to the Holocaust, to the Shoah.
The term concentration camp, though it predates the Nazi regime and applies to many camps operated throughout the world throughout history, is, in the public imagination in the U.S., intimately tied to the machinery of death that the Nazis constructed.
After being criticized, Ocasio-Cortez tried to make a distinction between concentration camps and Nazi death camps, where the industrialized mass slaughter of the Holocaust occurred. Fair enough, but Congresswoman, tens of thousands were also brutalized, tortured, starved, and ultimately died in concentration camps. Camps like Dachau.
But good faith objections aside, there was also swift, massive efforts made to turn Cortez's comments into their own controversy by people who have shown absolutely no concern whatsoever over the conditions for the human beings inside those camps themselves.
She also demeans the current American citizens, many of whom are Hispanic, who do the very hard and dangerous work of guarding our border. She equated them by association to Nazi SS guards, and that is disgraceful. AOC should apologize at the least and probably resign.
There's like 3 Democrats who are defending her. So I think that's when you know that you are out there on a limb, and then you're like Bugs Bunny, sawing off the end.
Fellow New York Congressman Jerry Nadler tweeted in response, "One of the lessons from the Holocaust is never again. We fail to learn that lesson when we don't call out such inhumanity right in front of us." Jerry Nadler surely knows migrant detainment camps are not the same as concentration camps. So why didn't he just say that? If you want to criticize the shameful treatment of people at our southern border, fine. You'll have plenty of company, but be careful comparing them to Nazi concentration camps, because they're not at all comparable, in the slightest.
And today, Ocasio-Cortez remains unrepentant, tweeting in part, "I will never apologize for calling these camps what they are."
Are we really so ensconced in our political bubbles, liberal versus conservative, that we cannot talk about right versus wrong anymore? Some things are bigger than partisanship, or at least they used to be. And in the interim, the crux of what's truly at stake is lost. What is this country going to do about what's happening at the border in this humanitarian crisis?